I'm going to be revealing my very personal story that I've never shared on this channel before. So I come from a retail management background. I used to be in retail management for a long time. I've got over 7 years experience, so I'm good at selling face-to-face products, particularly in the high-end furniture sector. So I used to sell high-end furniture. When I say sell it, I used to book appointments for a designer to go out and actually do the design of it. I used to do the selling in the showroom, if you like. These were like £15,000 kitchens, for example, £7,000 bedrooms, depending on how many rooms they had. So they were worth thousands of pounds, some of them, you know. And I was very good at this line of work. And I've been a bed manager before as well in those 7 years. So I've done a variety of different jobs in retail, but predominantly I've been in retail management. And I used to be the top performer in my country for some of the furniture management I did. And I was up against stores like Oxford Street, and I was in like the top 3 in the whole country. So I did very, very well at those jobs. Now, something I don't like in the entrepreneur space is they're always telling you if your mindset's shit, then you can't make any money, you can't do anything, it's going to be really bad for you, you can't, it's very like negative, it's very limiting beliefs that you can't do anything if your mind's not good. Now obviously it's better to have a good mind than a bad mind, but let's face it, how many billionaires and millionaires do you know that's actually got mental health problems? They're depressed, they're suicidal, some people kill themselves with all the money in the world because their mindset isn't right with all the money. The money is not what makes your mindset right? And you can still earn billions of pounds or millions of pounds or hundreds of thousands of pounds and still have a bad mindset. You can actually achieve financial success despite the fact the rest of your life could be crumbling down around you. Now, years ago, I wasn't in retail management, like I said, and one of the jobs I was in, while I was going through that job, I was actually very depressed when I got home, suicidal, because I was in a really abusive relationship behind the scenes. But I used to excel at my job. I used to be one of the top in the country. Now, why was this? Because it was a getaway from home, you know, it was a release, and it was something I was able to be really proud of and really good at because things weren't going well at home. And I used to feel very depressed and suicidal and stuff like that. To be actually at work and give myself a purpose, and to be doing something I was really good at because I was very good at selling face to face, and you know, I learned a lot of techniques in that, and I was really good at that type of thing. It just meant that it gave me a lot of confidence, and I was good at something. So even if things are not going right at home, and you could be depressed or anxious or whatever, you can still achieve a lot of stuff in your life, even if your mind isn't good in other ways. So the fact that people say, oh, if your mind isn't good, you can't do anything and have any success is BS, actually, because you can have a lot of success in what other people would deem as success, right? But that's because people judge success by the amount of money people have. And that's not how I personally judge success. I don't judge my worth by the amount of money I make or don't make, or my value. I don't put it on that. And that's, to me, is not success. Success is being happy with your life as is. And it's helping people and empowering people. And it's being truthful and honest and authentic. With this in mind, I'm going to carry on with my personal story. So something I haven't told you is I don't make a full-time living online. You probably don't know that. You probably think because I run a Make Money Make Cash channel, that means I'm earning hundreds of thousands of pounds online. You'll notice that none of my videos do I ever say I'm earning that sort of money. And I do a lot of videos on this channel about making money with Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, because these are the platforms I've used when I've been made redundant from a job, and I have been on benefits to top up my benefits. When I have been out of work, I've done that. I've sold all the things I've told you I've sold. And even when I haven't been like redundant necessarily, and I've sold these things, you know, just to top up and things like that, and to make a bit of extra cash, right? So I have made real money online, but it's small amounts, right? I do interview other people on this channel who are entrepreneurs, and they are making thousands, and like some of them are making a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Like hundreds of thousands of pounds, the people I know in my sphere. So they automatically think that just because you've got people in your sphere that are hugely successful and making millions or billions of pounds or hundreds of thousands of pounds, that you're going to automatically make that yourself. That's not actually the case necessarily. I don't do the stuff that these people do to make that sort of money. It's not my passion. It's not my interest. And also, I do have unseen disabilities, which I haven't talked about on this channel because there seems to be a lot of shame about benefits. And I am on universal credit. I want to be honest about that. I'm on universal credit with limited capability for work and work-related activity, which means I don't have to search for an employed job or apply for an employed job, right? And it means I'm self-employed as well. So I'm self-employed as well as being on universal credit. And I have PIP, personal independent payment, that helps with some disability stuff, right, to pay for some things because I have hidden disabilities. I've got fibromyalgia and I've also got anxiety. It's a chronic anxiety condition. And also, one of the jobs I had to leave, it made me very poorly and I developed CPTSD symptoms. I'm also recovering from a back injury and a foot injury at the moment, which I'm seeing a physiotherapist for. I see a therapist for a mental health therapist of my choice because I have past trauma, a lot of trauma. So, and I've got currently a lot of trauma going on at the moment this year. So it's my choice. I see that person as well, which is really good. I'm in Matthew Hussey's Love Life Club, which is a coaching, online coaching and training, which is in the 3 relationships, the one you have with yourself, the one you have with your life and other people. So I'm doing all this. I'm into personal professional development. I entered the entrepreneur space in 2012 and I was doing my self-employment work alongside working in a management job at some point. I've also done it alongside, was I in a management job then? I was in a retail. Yeah, I've done it alongside management job. I also done it alongside when I was like a full-time sales advisor. But I was like running a department, but I wasn't actually officially a manager at that time. And at one point I was working for the NHS as well. I was self-employed doing that and I was employed by them doing that alongside. And I was still uploading books and doing self-employment stuff for that as well. So I've been self-employed since the 18th of November, 2012. And, I've always prided myself on the fact that I'm able to still be self-employed whilst working in management, whilst having another job at the NHS. And that was a lot to do at once, a heck of a lot of stuff. So I was in retail management jobs for a long time. I've got over 7 years experience, like I said. And also years ago, I remember earning a basic salary of over 12,000 when I was in a bed management job. And I made it up with commission with over 12,000. So I was on £24,000 a year, but half of that was commission because I was so good at selling, so good at getting add-ons. And I had a lot of, I had a number of thousands of pounds in the bank at that point, So I just wanted to give you some background that I did come from a management perspective. I am good at selling. I do have a sales background. I have made thousands of pounds for companies before. And I've also made thousands of pounds for myself before. But in 2021, I hit a crossroads and I was made redundant in 2017. And because I do have disabilities, it's harder with my disabilities to get employed work in the UK. So I was made redundant for 5 years. And that's when I started doing Vinted, selling stuff on Vinted, selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace, selling stuff on eBay. So I can make up my benefits because I was on job seekers allowance then. Now, if you are a person who's literally buying stuff to sell it on one of these platforms, you have to declare it as a business, right? So you have to put it through as a business expense if you're buying something, and obviously income if you're selling it. If you're just selling your random items, your pre-loved clothes and things, but you're not doing it all the time, and it's just one-offs and stuff like that, if that's what you're doing, then according to the HMRC website, as far as I understand, you're allowed to sell one-off things and but you're not allowed to be selling regularly on there without declaring it as self-employment. Now, I'm self-employed because I publish books and sell them on Amazon. I get royalties for them. I publish designs on t-shirts and stuff like that. And again, if anyone buys them, I get money for it. I do that on Redbubble and Merch by Amazon. I do get I'm meant to get some affiliate commission by a company, but unfortunately they've not been paying for a year and a half. So their name's missing letter, and it's really bad that they've not paid me and a load of other affiliates. So that's not good. I do have the occasional coaching client. Coaching's not really my main thing, but publishing is. So I do have the coaching client, but I'm not the type of person that actually specifically goes out to look for clients as such, because book publishing and writing is my main passion. And it's like my therapy, to be honest. I love it. And I specialize in asexuality. So a lot of the stuff I do for asexuals on my other channel, I do for free, give them free advice and coaching and stuff. I do have the odd asexual coaching client now and again, but that's not my main focus. My main passion is writing. My life purpose is getting asexuality recognized as sexual orientation in its own right throughout the globe, so that no asexual has to live in fear of ridicule ever again. I do that through my main channel, Asexualize My Asexual Life, which is on, another YouTube channel. And I've had over 1,050,000 views on that channel. So that channel's doing really well. This channel's doing really well as well. We've gone over 200,000 subscribers now. Sorry, not subscribers, views. I wish it was subscribers. We're just like 328 subscribers now, I think, on here. And I'm over 2,500 subscribers on my other channel. So yeah, but we've had over 200,000 views. So thank you so much for that. But I wanted to be honest with you that in 2021, I was in a management job and it made me really poorly. I can't talk for legal reasons about all the details about that. I'm not allowed to. But I did leave a management job that made me really, really poorly. I was off long-term sick. And so I did have to go on to Universal Credit in the UK. And then I ended up having assessment. And I was when I left that job because I was off long-term sick. And then I had some savings. So I used a lot of my savings. And then when it came to actually leaving the job, it wasn't sustainable for me to keep using my savings, right? So I then went on to Universal Credit. I went on just while I was still working the job for a bit because I was on statutory sick pay, which wasn't enough to pay my rent and to live on. And then I ended up, when I left that job, having to go on Universal Credit. And I got limited capability for work and work-related activity. This is back in 2021, but I still said when I left that job that I'm self-employed. So I used to declare my self-employed earnings, income and expenditure to the Department for Work and Pensions, Universal Credit. And I used to put it in my journal, and I've got evidence here. If I try and find the evidence, I'm just trying to look at this at the same time to prove that I used to do this, right? There is a reason why I'm doing this. So let me see if I can turn it around. So yeah, this is like, I reported it in July. You can see I was reporting it. Report your income and expenditures complete for period 22nd of June to the 2021 to the 21st of July 2021. Right, so this is back in 2021. I was reporting my self-employment status, right? So I'm going to keep going through this a minute. I can't show you all this. Right, so there was so if we go to August 2021, again, I had to report my income and expenditures for the period of the 22nd of June 2021 to the 21st of July 2021. So report your income and expenditures, right? So if we go back up to here, then I've got it for August. Report your income and expenses for the period 22nd of July to the 21st of August. There's a reason why I'm showing you all this. Right, and then I had to report it again. So I was off long-term sick, and then I had to report it, right? So I can't show you all this, but basically I had to report it a lot. And I was reporting all my income. And then because I left my employed job in 2021, I said I had to declare that I was unemployed from that job and I was still self-employed, which I did do. But what happened is someone in the DWP Universal Credit Department removed me from being self-employed. So I was not asked to report my income and expenditure since 2021, right? I've just recently had, I had to have a Universal Credit review the week before last. I had to have a PIP review this week because I got personal independent payment because of my hidden disabilities, which I get some benefits from as well. This is to live on. And I still declared, like I said, back in that time, I declared I was self-employed at the same time as told them I was unemployed from that employed job, right? So I still say I was self-employed, but someone on Universal Credit has taken me off that because I had a review earlier and with a self-employment assessor, and they said that someone removed me 4 years ago. So I've now got to declare 4 years of income and expenditure in 10 days. And you might think that's easy, but it's not, because I haven't got all my income expenditures tallied for this year. I'll be honest with you about that, because I've had a horrendous time I had to move at the end of last year. Now 3 months of a lot of trauma in this place, a lot of leaks and things that need repairing, and the boiler leaked gas, and then the electrics literally blew up in it, leaked carbon monoxide, singed the electrical engineer's hair, could have killed us both. So there's been a lot of trauma and a lot of problems. I've had workmen in and out pretty much for 3 months. So I haven't been able to do much actual work, which is just really ridiculous, but that's been the way it is. And so I had, like I said, I had this review, and I've got all the figures for the other years done, but they're done in a traditional accounting system from the 1st of the month to the 31st. Now, Universal Credit works in a different system, and they work when you first applied for benefits, a period. So I've got to report 4 years now, from the 21st of the month to the 22nd of every month since going back to that July when I first was reporting them years ago. And I've got to do that, and for a whole 4 years, and I've got to do cash basis, where I use traditional accounting, they use cash basis. So in the UK, they're clamping down on people, on benefits. But that's fine for people who are abusing the system, but I'm not abusing the system. I've always said I'm self-employed. But recently they said that I got to declare a change of circumstances saying I'm self-employed, even though I've been self-employed the whole time I've been on Universal Credit. And they say I've got to report my income and expenditure. And when you're on Universal Credit with limited capability for work and work-related activity, you get work allowance of £404. So if you don't go over that, or if you're in a loss cumulative throughout the year, so you don't make more than your expenses, you're not in profit, then basically you don't have to have any benefits taken off you. You can earn up to £404 a month and still get your Universal Credit if you're on limited capability for work and work-related activity, which I am, because I've got chronic anxiety and also fibromyalgia. I've got CPTSD symptoms from my previous employed job in 2021 that I had to leave. Plus, I'm recovering from a back injury at the moment, 2 broken bones in my spine from last year, a foot injury where a shoe fell across my right foot, at the end of last year, and I've just been diagnosed with osteopenia. So all this is really shocking. And I want to be honest with you about this, because, my other channel is doing really well, despite the fact, and so is this channel, despite the fact that, things aren't going well for me, haven't been going well for me this year so far, right? So it is BS that you can't achieve anything if your life isn't going well. You can still achieve some good things in your life. So don't believe the BS that you can't achieve anything. You can still achieve stuff. But this has been an absolute shocker, because now I'm being required to go back for 4 years and declare my income expenditure, because someone at the DWP Universal Credit removed me from being self-employed. And so I haven't declared my income and expenditures for 4 years with my self-employment, because I wasn't asked to do it, and they have to give you a link to upload that to record your income and expenditure on, and no one did that, even though I was reviewed last year and I told them I was self-employed. I've always told them on my journal. I declared I was self-employed when I left my employed job in 2021. I've always declared it, and now, just now, they're asking me. So they asked me on the 12th of March, and I'm meant to give 4 years worth of income and expenditure in by the 21st of March. So this is like basically 10 days, under 10 days, really. And it's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And they said there's no way you can even appeal it or get an extension. So they're saying now that they might suspend my payment, because I'm meant to be paid on the 28th of March, or they could stop my whole payments. They'll suspend it first, probably give me a few extra days, and then up to maybe 7 at the most, and then I could have that whole thing cut, which I rely on the money for my rent and bills and stuff and food, because I don't earn a full-time income online. That's what I've never said on this channel, made big bold declarations of, oh, I earn hundreds of thousands of pounds online, because I don't. And that would be a lie, and I don't lie. I interview other people that are making a lot of money, because they love what they do, and I love what I do. I love my writing, even though I don't make a ton of money at it. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's important to be really honest with you about that, because I do this channel. I do like money. I do love money, but money isn't my main motivator in life. A sense of achievement and a sense of responsibility is. And to me, the entrepreneurial journey and the profit is to do with how you change as a person. It's how you grow yourself. It's how you develop yourself. It's how you get out of your comfort zone, do things that other people wouldn't do, can't do, or wouldn't be willing to even try. And you try them and you fail and you make mistakes and you get pick yourself up again and you grow as a person. When I started my entrepreneurial journey in 2012, I didn't even love myself. It's entrepreneurship that changed my life for the better forever. And where I discovered that I've got loads of skills and experience to offer the world, even though I've got hidden disabilities, I can still achieve a lot and help a lot of people. And my achievements are not based on monetary value. My worth is not based on monetary value. It's based on the fact, have I impacted someone's life? If someone's picked up my book and read it and changed their life and they know it's okay to be them, they're not depressed or they're not suicidal anymore and it's changed their life, which, my Diary Confessions of a Hyperromantic Asexual book was a bestseller last year. And this Asexual Perspectives book was a bestseller. And, this one is amazing. And I've had people buy this book tell me they were, suicidal or really didn't think they were okay until they read this book and it changed their life. That to me is the profit. The profit is the riches we find in impacting and changing lives. I think that's the most impactful thing, that you can have a lot of money, and yes, people who earn a lot of money, they do impact lives. I'm not going to say they don't, right? But you don't have to be earning hundreds of thousands of pounds to impact lives. You can still make a huge difference, right? Some people are on benefits and they choose just to take drugs or whatever, sit around doing nothing. Other people that are on benefits, they work really, really hard to still make money online, and also they work really hard to help others, right? And I'm happier not being in the management job years ago that was making me really poorly, that I had to leave because I got CPTSD symptoms from. Do you know what I mean? So happiness is not, and when I look back at my management jobs, I was in management for years. I was very good. I was earning thousands of pounds then. I look back at that time, but back then I was having a bad relationship. I was suicidal and depressed, but I was a top performer. I was doing really, really well. I had thousands of pounds in the bank. I still have some money in the bank now, but I had a lot more money back then. But I was miserable. I wasn't happy. I was in the wrong relationship. I was going home feeling miserable and upset and in pain. So I'd rather be out of that scenario. And I'm not earning a ton of money myself, but I'm trying. And the main point in life is to try, and also I help people on this channel earn real money and real cash. Right? When I was strapped for cash, when I was on Job Seekers Allowance years ago, for example, and I needed some extra money to pay my bills and to pay for food, I was selling my personal items. It was really difficult back then, because I couldn't do stuff like that very easily, because I was very attached to those items. So I had to detach. I had to learn detachment skills in order to be able to do that. So it taught me a lot of vital skills in life to detach from things, and I was very good at selling physical products on Facebook Marketplace. I'm a really top seller on there. I'm rated as a top seller because I've sold physical products in real life, and I know how to get add-on sales even on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. And that's why I'm a top seller on Vinted as well, So I teach people how to make real money, real cash in real time. So if they're struggling to pay their bills, if they're struggling, to top up their benefits, they are on benefits in the UK, because let's face it, there are people on benefits in the UK. My cousin, she was working an accountancy job and she was made redundant at the end of last year. And she's been out of work for about 5 months now and hasn't been able to get a job. But she's very well qualified, not got any disabilities like I have, but even she can't find a job in the UK. Right? And she's very qualified. She used to work in hotel management before. She's very intelligent and knows what she's doing. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard for everyone in the UK right now. And it's even harder for those who are disabled, because they're really picking up on disabled people. They're really hammering into people. But I think, expecting me to do all this income and expenditure. Look, can we see? This is me showing you what I've got to do. So I've got to start from here, which I already reported years ago, but I've got to do these bits again as well, from June 2021 to July 2021. But I've got to report it how they want me to report it, not from the 1st of June to the 31st of June, or the 1st of July to the 31st of July. Is there 31 days in June and July? 30 days have September, April, June and November. So there's only 30 days in June, 31 in July. But I've got to, report it exactly how they want it. And they do cash basis, I do traditional accounting. So it's a lot of work. 4 whole years in about 10 days is a lot of work for me to do. And expecting people to do this, especially when they've got disabilities and health conditions, which I have. My fibromyalgia pain is worse. So this is like up to this year, right? So, this is a lot. This is really bad for me, to expect me to do 4 years of this and adjust all my accounts to cash basis and different reporting dates is just crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I wanted to show you what people are going through in the UK who are on benefits, and I wanted to be completely honest with you. But I think my advice on here is very valuable because I actually have been in the trenches. I've been made redundant. I am not in an employed job at the moment. I am self-employed. So I think if you're in a similar situation to me, that my content's really relatable to you. If you're struggling in the UK at the moment to make ends meet with food and bills and cost of living and everything like that, you want to make some money selling your pre-loved items because they're just hanging around. That's what I can teach you to do because I have made money on that. Everything that I teach you, I've done. I don't lie, And I think that's really important to learn from someone who has actually done it before, And when you're doing it in those purposes, you really need the money. Do you know what I mean? So the more you can get good at that, the more you can get those skills honed, the better it is. And that's where I excel in. That's my forte, if you like. And then I interview other people on this channel sometimes who are making money doing what they love. And they're earning like thousands of pounds, hundreds of thousands. Some people are earning a lot of money, some aren't, right? But it doesn't matter. What matters is that you value your worth by you, not by the amount of money you have coming in and out. Money is a commodity. Money is something you get in, it goes out again. It's not a person, it's not life, and you should never value your own worth on it. There'll be people probably on this channel that are going to judge me now, go, oh, you teach people how to make money, yet you're not making that much money yourself online. It doesn't matter if I'm not making that much money. I'm making some money online, and it's fulfilling a purpose and a need. And it's helping people on this channel to top up their income when, let's face it, the UK is in absolute diabolical crisis at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And any information I impart is going to help people in real time, in real life. Like if someone's like asking me, like, how do you make quick money? You go out and you sell your pre-loved items, for example, on Facebook Marketplace. People come to your home, they give you cash for it, and you've sold it. That's, to me, is one of the very quickest ways you can get cash, right? You just upload something. If you upload it to Vinted, it could take a while to sell. You go on Facebook Marketplace, you say, I've got this item for sale, put a good price on it, lower than eBay usually, get some cash for it, cash in hand, and then you can go and get your food or top up your electricity or whatever you need to do, pay for that meal, pay for that little trip away to give yourself a break. Or just, like, if you've got an extra expense, it helps you, doesn't it? And that's like real money in real time. It's not like, oh, this dream that people sell you where they declare that they're, you're going to get loads and loads of money and get rich quick. Yeah, some people do. But that's not the case for a number of people. And unless you're really passionate and your heart and mind's in what you do, you're going to either struggle financially because you're not going to get the sort of money you expect, or you're going to be very miserable. And we don't want you to be miserable. So as I always say on this channel, put the law of action back in attraction, take the actions, but make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, and never value your worth on the amount of money you are or are not making. And always remember, your current circumstances do not dictate your future. So even if you are on universal credit, personal dependent payment like I am, where they're hammering everyone at the moment, very intrusive reviews. I had my universal credit review and I've had my PIT review. This week I've had a universal credit and PIT review. Week before last I had a universal credit review. They are hammering us, And I understand for people who are just like dossing around and taking drugs or whatever and not doing anything and living off the state. I know that's wrong and that's bad, but not everyone who's on benefits is a bad person or is a scrounger or is less in worth just because they're on benefits. There's a lot of problems with people thinking, oh, someone's on benefits, they can never say they are. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the reality of the situation. Some of us are, And yes, I have hidden disabilities. It doesn't mean to say I still can't succeed and impact lives and make a difference. I had a friend helping me out when I was first made redundant years ago. They're helping me out to teach me how to do some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, sell some stuff on there, because I didn't know the platform existed within Facebook. I didn't realize, and she helped me. And then I put all my skills and experience and knowledge to the test, if you like, with everything I'd learned in my previous management jobs, selling items face to face. And I was able to get add-on sales on Facebook Marketplace. I was even able to get more money for items I put on Facebook Marketplace, like than I actually asked for. Like, I was able to get more money than I even asked for on there, which is never heard of. I could get add-on sales as well. Right, so I let my friend teach me the basics, and then I went with it and excelled in it. I was really good at it, but I haven't put anything on there for quite some time now. But I have those skills and experience, and that is valuable because you can make quick money in real time, and actually when you desperately need it, right? And let's face it, a lot of the UK desperately needs this help right now. But wherever you are, know that your value and worth is not in the money, it's in the impact you have. And just because you aren't earning hundreds of thousands of pounds, and doesn't mean to say you can't impact people. Even if your mental health is not great, even if you've got a physical disability, yes, maybe your life would be a lot better if you didn't have that in some ways. But also, it does give you some superpowers as well. It really shows how courageous you are, how resilient you are, to be able to get through all these tough times with your disabilities and health challenges, right? And that's what life's all about, being resilient, being strong, being brave. Right? You could say who's braver, someone who's got no health problems, but just making hundreds of £1,000s a month, or someone who's got huge disabilities and is literally sometimes paying out their personal money to fund their self-employment ventures because they really want to help a ton of people. Not from a selfish point of view, but or from a point of view of getting money for themselves, but just because, not that there's anything wrong with getting money for yourself at all whatsoever. But what I'm saying is, when you're motivated to actually help the people you serve, when you help them regardless if you get paid money or not. There's a lot of people in the entrepreneur space that are like, oh, so if you had to do, if you had your choice to do anything in the world, what would you do right now, regardless of where you earn money or not, right? And lots of people answer that in their head, but how many people actually go ahead going, yeah, I'll do that, and I really do that, even if I don't make any money out of it, right? So there's sometimes, I don't make hardly any money through books. Like last month, I didn't sell one book, which is really weird for me because I usually always sell books every month. But I'm like, I think it's got in the universe's way of saying you need to get another book out, etc. Because it's very rare I never sell anything. It's very bizarre. I don't know what's gone on. I'm like, what's gone on? And it's never usually happened. And that is so weird for me. But I'm thinking, well, I outlined a book, which is a different book, but actually now I've got to focus obviously on my universal credit because that's to pay for my basic needs like rent and food, although I have to top up £145 a month for my rent. So I don't get all my rent paid for me. And with personal independent payment, I don't get the full amount, I just get the standard. So for mobility and mental health, I'm being really honest with you here, but I do have limited capability for work and work-related activity for the PIP. But I wanted to be honest and upfront, if people decide, oh, I'm not going to stay subscribed to you because you're not earning hundreds of thousands of pounds, that's fine. But I've never ever said on this channel that I'll teach you how to do that, because I don't teach things that I don't do myself. But I can teach you how to make money on Facebook Marketplace and Vinted and places like eBay. And I can help you with book publishing and stuff. So it's just great to have best-selling books, and book sales can fluctuate a lot. And the whole point is even if you change one person's life, you've done your job well, right? And life is about impact. It's about happiness. And even if you have loads of money, doesn't mean to say you're going to be happy. I've had loads of money, thousands of pounds, and been very miserable. I've had far less money and been happier. So always go for happiness over money, and never value your own worth on how much money you're making or not. I don't value my own worth on how much money I'm making or not. So people who judge me that way will probably say, oh, I'm not going to subscribe to her anymore or watch her channel because she's not making hundreds of thousands of pounds. I'm going to go to another person's channel. But how do you know that they're making all that money? What they say they do. Unless they've got physical evidence they're showing you, how do you know they're making that sort of money? Right? I don't teach people stuff I don't know what to do myself already. I don't teach people things that I'm not doing. So always bear that in mind. Learn from the people who really know what they're doing in their specialist area. I happen to be good at selling on marketplaces and I happen to be good at getting people to be able to get a bit of income from their pre-loved items, declutter their home and stuff like that. That's where my forte lies. So always go with your strengths lie. If you want to get a copy of Asexual Perspectives, if you're new to asexuality, by the way, you can get this on Amazon. And Diary Confessions of a Hyper-Romantic Asexual is on Amazon. It's 78 Life Lessons to Ace Your Life. These are all interesting books. So, yes, go and enjoy them. And I'll see you soon on the next video live stream. I won't be able to upload as much videos or do any live streams at the moment for the next, like, nearly 2 weeks or whatever it is, over 10 days, because I've got to do this self-employment stuff going back 4 years. So I just wanted to update you. I wanted to tell you the truth about my life and how shocking it is what people are having to go through in the UK. Right? I can understand they want me to report the income and expenditure, but someone from Universal Credit removed me in 2021 from being self-employed. So I couldn't do that. And now I'm expected to give 4 years worth of income and expenditure reports in 10 days, basically, or less than 10 days. So it's just not fair on me, to be perfectly honest with you. And doing it their way, cash basis, when I do traditional accounting and doing it in different times of the month, from the 21st to the 22nd of the month instead of the 1st to the 31st, it's just crazy. But that's what I'm required to do, and I can't appeal it. Apparently I can't ask for an extension, and I can have my payments suspended, which they will be if I don't get it in on time, and could have them stopped completely. So my whole home and rent and everything is in jeopardy, right? So I just thought I'd tell you the truth. So being self-employed and on Universal Credit is really tough, and it can come with dire consequences, ones that you didn't, instigate yourself, ones that someone else instigated through their fault, not your own, but you still pay the consequences and the price for it. So I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe everything happens for a reason, divine timing. I believe everything is pushing me in the right direction, but this is tough. This is a tough one, I've got to admit. And my physical and mental health hasn't been great lately because of all the problems I've had in this flat for over 3 months. And then after they were finally fixed over 3 months, then I had a virus for 2 weeks. And then I ended up in A&E, in case you didn't already know that. A&E for over 12 hours with chest pain for over 13. Ended up not being my heart, but pull muscle in my chest from the back exercises I have to do to keep my back strong since I broke 2 spine bones last year. So yeah, it's all hard. It's tough. But remember, you're tougher. You're made of tougher stuff, and your resilience and strength will shine through. I love you lots. If you're going through a difficult time at the moment, just know I care, and I'm proud of how resilient and strong you are. And I don't judge a person by the amount of income they are or are not making. I judge a person by the qualities they have in their life, their character, their heart, and their good character traits, or not so good character traits. Anyway, stay being you, true, authentic, and just be happy, whatever you do. Lots of love. Take care. And I'll see you when I can see you, probably in a couple of weeks, because of all the work I've got to do. Lots of love. Take care. Bye.